Welcome back again on Bashman Studio. In fact, there has been a little bit of a short break in our lessons, but we are back. And our lesson on finding the values of non-perfect square root numbers without the use of calculators or tables continues. In fact, we paused when we were done with finding the values of non-perfect square root numbers when they are of 3 value numbers. So we move straight away to 4 value numbers. Sometimes those values or those numbers become very huge. For instance, we have on the board here 8281, that is the square root of 8281. We have to find this without the use of a calculator. So you see it becomes a little bit huge. And with this, the same procedure using the long division method becomes so easy to do it. And we talked about the other time, we talked about the fact that if you have a 4-figure number, you do partitioning. So you take them 2, 2. For instance, this particular number, we can partition them by 2, 2, 2, 2. So the first 2 and then the last 2. Note that it is only when it is a 4-figure number and more that you can do the partitioning by taking them 2, 2. Also, but we talked about the fact that if the number is a 3-figure number, you can't do partitioning by taking 2 and then 1 at a time. No, you may get some little bit of mistakes in your calculation. So it is always advisable to partition them 2, 2, and if it is a 3-figure number, partition it all at a time, just once. So with this, it's so simple. It is just a 4-figure number and we partition them 2, 2. So straight away, we get to our solution. With this, we have our solution down here. Let me get rid of the question and then we'll move on. Here, let's write our solution down quick. We have the number 8281. That's the square root of that. So let's take it to our long division. Now, we're going to look for a number as usual. So as we said, we are partitioning them 2, 2. So we take 82 first before we move to the next one. So we are going to take a number such that if we multiply that number by itself, it's closer or equal to 82. And I think the number may be, we can start from 6, 7, 8. I think 7 times 7 is 49, a little closer. 8 times 8 is 64, a little closer. 9 times 9 is 81. I think that will be more perfect. 9 times 9 will give you 81. So let's push our number down a little so that we have 82, 81. So I think the best number to start with is 9, because 9 times 9 will give us 81. So 81. Now we can subtract. We subtract 1 from 2, we get 1. And this is 0. So we are done with this part. Let's pull down this. Let me extend this 9. Let's pull down the rest of the number. It's left with the second partitioning. So the 82. We pull down that number. So we bring 81 down here. And this. So now we move to this and it becomes our new dividend. Now with this, we said we have to pick the number and double it or just add the 2 numbers. So if you double 9, you get 18, right? Yeah, sure. 18. Now note that we are going to put a certain number here such that it is more closer or equal to 181. And note also that I am not adding zeros now, since we have now pulled down 81. So it means we have to treat whatever under the square root, the long division sign, finish. If those figures are finished, we can now be adding our zeros, but currently they are not done yet. We have 81 being added to 1, so we have to treat this one. Then the next step may be adding the 2 zeros as usual. And now here we have 18. Note that we are going to put a certain number here and multiply by that same number such that it is more closer or equal to that, and that same number should be put up there. So let's pick our 18, and then I think we'll do trial and error but we let's say if we start from 1, we multiply by 1, so we can get the same thing. 181 is equal to that. I think if we move to 2, it will be bigger, so 81 will be ideal number. So 1 here, 1 there, and then 1 times that will give us 181. And if we subtract, we're gonna get zeros throughout. And therefore, for long division, if our remainder is 0, we pause and then take the top as our answer. And therefore, this the square root of 82, 81. It's just equal to 91. Thank you very much for following this episode of the video. We move on to another number. I think clearly this is a perfect square number. But as I told you earlier in some of our videos, I said that sometimes the number is huge such that the first impression might be that you don't know whether it's a perfect square or not. But this clearly tells you something. You see, it's a huge number, and you may struggle a little bit to know whether it's a perfect square or non-perfect square. So if you treat it using the procedure we have done, it's always easier to solve it or to find the exact value of the square root number if it becomes very huge, and determining its perfection or square perfection is becoming complicated. That is how you treat it. So I think we'll move on to another example. That will be our example 7. So just as I told you, you may share and then you comment down there. Please don't forget to subscribe and be the first to get the notifications of our videos being uploaded. See you in the next episode. Shalom.